What if I told you that a woman's heart isn't won by looks, money, or sweet words, but by touching the 5 secret weak points she can't hide from? Most men will never know them, but the few who do become unforgettable. Every woman carries hidden doors to her heart, doors that very few men ever find. Most men chase beauty, wealth, or charm, thinking those are the keys to love. But the truth is, what truly draws a woman close are not the things you see on the surface. It's the delicate, secret weaknesses buried deep within her emotions. These are not flaws, but sacred vulnerabilities. When a man knows how to touch them, not with manipulation, but with presence, understanding, and power, something magical happens. A woman feels seen in a way she has never felt before. She feels safe, desired, and connected at a soul-deep level. And in that moment, she doesn't just want you, she needs you. In this video, we're going to unlock 5 hidden weak points of women that, once understood, will change the way you approach love and attraction forever. If you've ever wondered why some men become unforgettable in a woman's life, while others fade into the background, the answers lie here. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover isn't just advice, it's the map to a woman's heart. Point 1. The desire to feel understood. One of the greatest emotional weak points in a woman's heart is her desire to feel deeply understood. While this might sound simple on the surface, it is actually one of the most profound psychological needs a woman carries within her. You see, many women move through life surrounded by people, family members, friends, colleagues, even partners, yet still feel unseen and unheard. They talk, but they are not listened to. They express themselves, but they are not truly understood. This emotional emptiness is what creates a hidden weakness inside her, and the man who can fill it has a unique power over her heart. Think about it this way. When a woman shares her worries, her dreams, or even her smallest frustrations, most people respond with quick solutions, distractions, or judgments. They might say, "Don't worry, it's not a big deal," or "You're overthinking it." These words, although sometimes well-intentioned, make her feel minimized. What she really craves is someone who not only hears her words, but feels her emotions. When a man leans in, maintains soft eye contact, and listens without interruption, something powerful happens. When he said, "I value your feelings. I want to understand you," this makes her feel safe, accepted, and respected, because safety is the gateway to attraction. A woman may admire good looks or wealth, but none of that compares to the magnetic pull she feels toward a man who makes her feel emotionally understood. Psychologically, this triggers the release of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. Oxytocin creates a sense of trust and closeness. That's why women naturally gravitate toward men who listen carefully and remember details about what they share. When you recall her favorite book, the story about her childhood, or even the small challenges she mentioned days ago, she feels, "He sees me in a way others don't." And that thought alone can melt her defenses. But understanding is not only about listening to her words, it is also about reading between the lines. Sometimes a woman won't directly say what she feels. Instead, her emotions might show in her tone of voice, her body language, or the silences between her sentences. A man who pays attention to these subtle signals and responds with empathy instead of impatience builds a rare connection. For example, if she says, "I'm fine," but you notice her voice trembling, asking gently, "I sense something's bothering you. Do you want to talk about it?" It can open a door to her heart. Women also crave validation. This doesn't mean agreeing with everything she says, but acknowledging her perspective. Phrases like, "I understand why you feel that way," or "That must have been tough for you," give her emotional comfort. It tells her she is not alone in her feelings, and once she feels validated, she starts associating you with emotional safety, which naturally deepens her attachment to you. In relationships, this point is often underestimated. Many men focus on impressing women with achievements, charm, or confidence. While these things have their place, nothing creates intimacy faster than showing a woman you understand her soul. A man who knows how to unlock this weak point, he doesn't just become attractive, he becomes unforgettable. So if you want to win a woman's heart, don't just listen to reply, listen to understand. Don't just hear her words, feel her emotions. Ask thoughtful questions, remember small details, and most importantly, create a space where she feels free to open up without fear of being judged. Because when once she feels safe by you, she will never want to let you go. Point 2. The craving for emotional security. Behind every confident smile, every independent step, and every strong decision a woman makes, there lies a quiet but undeniable craving. That's craving for emotional security. No matter how independent or self-sufficient she appears on the outside, but every woman longs for someone who can provide her with emotional stability. This is not about physical protection or financial support. It is about knowing she has someone who will remain steady when her world feels uncertain. A woman faces various challenges in her life. She may face pressure from society about how she should look, act, or succeed. She may battle self-doubt, fear of rejection, or memories of past betrayals. When she goes through these struggles, the man who can offer her emotional security touches one of her most sensitive weak points. He becomes not just a partner, but a safe harbor in the storm. What does emotional security look like in practice? A man who says one thing but does another instantly breaks trust. On the other hand, a man who remains true to his word, who shows up when he says he will, and who treats her with respect even during disagreements, builds a deep sense of safety in her heart. She begins to think, "I can trust him, I can lean on him," and trust, once built, is the foundation of love. Emotional security also means being steady when she's not. Women often experience emotional ups and downs, and during those moments, they unconsciously test the man beside them. Will he stay calm when she's upset? Will he reassure her instead of withdrawing? Will he listen instead of dismissing her emotions? If the answer is yes, she will feel safe enough to let her guard down. Psychologists explain that women are biologically drawn to men who project stability. In evolutionary terms, this stability once meant survival. Women were naturally attracted to men who could protect and support them through uncertainty. Today, that instinct remains, but it has shifted from physical protection to emotional strength. A woman doesn't need a man to fight off wild animals anymore. She needs someone who can shield her from loneliness, doubt, and emotional chaos. There's another layer to this. Emotional security is not about perfection. In fact, it's about honesty and vulnerability. When you can admit your flaws without shame, when you can apologize without ego, and when you can handle conflicts without exploding, you show her that you are emotionally mature. This maturity makes her feel that you will not abandon her in difficult times. Imagine this scenario. She is overwhelmed after a long day and begins venting about everything going wrong. One man might say, "Why are you always complaining?" That response only deepens her insecurity. But another man, who gently says, "I know it's been a tough day. I'm here. Talk to me," immediately becomes her safe place. That simple difference in response creates worlds of difference in her heart. Ultimately, emotional security is about being her calm when she feels chaos, being her strength when she feels weak, and being her reassurance when she feels uncertain. When a woman finds this in a man, she not only respects him, she becomes emotionally addicted to him. So remember, women don't just fall for looks or charm. They fall for men who give them the courage to be vulnerable, who remain constant in a world full of change. And once you offer her that emotional security, you don't just win her affection, you win her trust, her loyalty, and her deepest love. Point 3. Her love for subtle attention. When it comes to attraction, many men assume that women are most impressed by grand gestures, expensive gifts, dramatic surprises, or flashy compliments shouted for the world to hear, while those things might create short-term excitement. But the truth is, what touches a woman's heart most deeply is not loud displays, it's subtle, thoughtful attention. This is one of her most tender weak points, and if a man understands it, he can create a bond that no amount of money or glamour can replace. Think about it. Women live in a world where they receive constant surface-level attention. A simple scroll through social media fills her inbox with likes, heart emojis, and generic compliments such as, "You're beautiful," or "looking gorgeous." While these comments may flatter her for a moment, they don't truly touch her soul, because they lack depth and authenticity. What she craves is not attention that anyone can give, but attention that is personal, specific, and meaningful. For example, remembering the little things, like how she takes her coffee, the story she told you about her childhood pet, or the way her eyes light up when she talks about her passion, shows her that you are paying attention. A man who notices these small details stands out from the crowd. She thinks, "He sees me in a way no one else does." And that thought creates an emotional imprint she cannot easily forget. This is where psychology comes into play. Subtle attention creates something called selective value, the feeling of being chosen in a special way. When a woman notices that you remember things others overlook, her brain interprets it as proof that she matters to you. This not only builds attraction, but also fosters trust and emotional intimacy. Another powerful aspect of subtle attention is anticipation. Let's say she casually mentioned she had a stressful meeting coming up. If you text her later that day saying, "I hope your meeting went well. I know you were preparing hard for it," she'll be moved by your thoughtfulness. To her, this isn't just a message. It's evidence that you were thinking about her when she wasn't around. That kind of attention is priceless. But here's the secret. Subtle attention works because it is effortless, yet intentional. It doesn't need to be exaggerated. You don't have to shower her with compliments every second. In fact, too much can feel insincere. Instead, balance is key. A well-timed compliment like, "That color looks amazing on you, it really matches your energy," will mean far more than repeating, "You're pretty," 10 times. Attention also goes beyond words. It shows in actions. Opening the door for her, offering your jacket when she feels cold, or remembering her favorite snack and bringing it to her without her asking. These small acts tell her, "I notice you, I care about you," and women are emotionally wired to respond to such gestures. There's another dimension too: attention in public. While grand displays may embarrass her, a subtle protective hand on her back while crossing the street, or introducing her proudly to your friends with a smile, signals to her subconscious that she is valued. These moments plant seeds of emotional security and pride that grow stronger over time. The key, however, is authenticity. Women are incredibly intuitive. They can sense when attention is fake or manipulative. If you only notice things to gain her approval, she'll feel it. But if your attention comes from genuine care and curiosity, she will not only appreciate it, she will crave more of it. So remember, it's not about the size of your gesture, it's about the depth of your intention. Subtle, meaningful attention is the soft language that speaks louder than words. When a woman feels seen in this way, she develops a unique attachment to the man who gave her that gift. And once she feels that bond, she doesn't just want to be close to you, she begins to imagine a life where she never loses that feeling again. Point 3. Her love for subtle attention. When it comes to attraction, many men assume that women are most impressed by grand gestures, expensive gifts, dramatic surprises, or flashy compliments shouted for the world to hear. While those things might create short-term excitement, but the truth is, what touches a woman's heart most deeply is not loud displays, but subtle, thoughtful attention. This is one of her most tender weak points, and if a man understands it, he can create a bond that no amount of money or glamour can replace. Point 4. Her vulnerability to genuine confidence. Confidence, real, grounded and authentic confidence, is one of the most magnetic forces in the world of attraction. For women, this quality is a powerful weak point. But here's the truth. Women are not drawn to arrogance, boasting, or the kind of fake confidence men sometimes put on to impress others. They are drawn to something far more subtle, yet far more powerful: genuine confidence. What does genuine confidence look like? It's not about being the loudest in the room, flaunting material possessions, or trying to dominate every conversation. It's about being comfortable in your own skin. A genuinely confident man carries himself with quiet assurance. He doesn't need to prove his worth because he already knows it. And this sense of self-belief creates a magnetic energy that women find irresistible. Why is this such a weak point for women? Because true confidence signals stability and strength. From an evolutionary perspective, women are naturally drawn to men who can handle challenges and remain composed under pressure. A confident man communicates, even without words. "I can face life's storms without falling apart." That kind of strength creates a sense of safety and admiration. Imagine 2 scenarios. In the first, a man panics when faced with rejection, lashes out when criticized, and constantly seeks validation. In the second, a man handles rejection with grace, learns from criticism, and carries himself with dignity, even when things don't go his way. Which one do you think a woman will find more attractive? Obviously the second. But why? Because his confidence is not dependent on others. It comes from within. Psychologists explain that women are highly intuitive. They can sense the difference between fake bravado and authentic self-assurance. Fake confidence usually hides insecurity, while genuine confidence is calm, steady, and humble. A truly confident man doesn't need to put others down to feel powerful. In fact, he uplifts those around him, and this blend of strength with kindness is what makes him unforgettable. Another important aspect of genuine confidence is purpose. A man who knows where he is going in life, who has goals and passions, naturally attracts women. Purpose-driven confidence tells her that he is not just drifting through life, he has direction. And women are drawn to men who lead themselves with clarity, because it makes her believe he can also lead a relationship with vision. Body language plays a huge role as well. A man who walks tall, makes eye contact, speaks clearly without hesitation, and respects personal boundaries radiates confidence without saying a word. Small cues like these affect how women perceive you. For example, when you enter a room and appear relaxed instead of nervous, she instantly feels your energy. Confidence is not always about what you say, it's about how you carry yourself. But here's the catch: confidence without humility becomes arrogance. Women are turned off by men who constantly brag, dominate conversations, or act as though they're superior. Genuine confidence is balanced with humility. It's the ability to stand strong in your worth while still respecting and valuing others. That balance is what melts a woman's defenses. Picture this: a man who is comfortable being himself, who isn't shaken by rejection, who can laugh at his own mistakes, and who treats everyone, whether a waiter or a CEO, with equal respect. That's the man who captures a woman's heart, because to her he represents strength without cruelty, power without ego, and assurance without fear. So, if you want to touch this weak point in a woman, focus not on faking confidence, but on building it genuinely. Work on your self-awareness, develop your passions, learn from your failures, and carry yourself with quiet strength. Because once a woman feels that aura of authentic confidence around you, she will not only admire you, she will feel irresistibly drawn to you. Point 5. The longing for emotional adventure. At first glance, many men believe that women want only stability, predictability, and security in a relationship. While those things are incredibly important, but they are not enough. Deep within every woman's heart lies another powerful desire, that a longing for emotional adventure. This weak point is often misunderstood by men, but when a man knows how to touch it, he becomes not only her safe place, but also the spark that makes her feel alive. Do you know what does emotional adventure mean? It's not necessarily about climbing mountains, traveling across the world, or living a risky lifestyle. Emotional adventure is about keeping her heart awake, surprising her emotions, and making her feel that life with you will never fall into dull monotony. A woman always craves excitement, laughter, and unpredictability mixed with security. This blend makes her feel both safe and thrilled, a combination that is deeply addictive. Think about the relationships that fail over time. Most often they don't fail because of betrayal or major conflicts. They fail because of boredom. When everything becomes routine and predictable, the spark fades. But the man who can inject moments of fun, mystery, and playfulness into her life touches her most hidden weak point. She thinks, with him, I never know what's next, but I know it will always feel good. Examples of emotional adventure can be simple but powerful, such as planning a spontaneous date instead of the usual dinner, sending her a playful text in the middle of her busy day that makes her laugh, challenging her in a fun debate where she feels excited instead of judged. Even something as small as taking her to a new cafe, trying to spend some sweet moment together, or surprising her with a heartfelt note can awaken emotions she doesn't expect. These small surprises keep her heart racing and her mind engaged. Psychologically, emotional adventure creates dopamine spikes. Just like people get addicted to the thrill of new experiences, women get emotionally hooked on men who know how to create that sense of freshness. It doesn't mean being reckless. It means being imaginative and playful. However, there's a delicate balance here. A woman wants emotional adventure, but she doesn't want instability. If a man is too unpredictable, unreliable, or inconsistent, she will feel unsafe and withdraw. The secret is combining stability with spontaneity. Be the man she can rely on for support, while also being the one who surprises her with joy. That balance makes her feel both protected and excited. Let's imagine two men. The first is responsible but dull. He provides safety but no spark. The second is exciting but unreliable. He makes her laugh but leaves her feeling insecure. Neither creates lasting attraction. But the man who blends both worlds, the one who gives her security while keeping things fresh, is the man who wins her heart completely. Emotional adventure is also about making her feel emotions she doesn't experience with others. It's about creating moments she'll remember forever, the laughter until her stomach hurts, the thrill of trying something new, the blush from a flirty comment when she least expects it. These moments become emotional anchors in her memory. Even when you're not around, she replays them in her mind and smiles. That's how emotional bonds become unbreakable. So, if you want to capture a woman's heart at the deepest level, don't just focus on being stable or impressive. Focus on keeping her emotions alive. Give her a balance of comfort and excitement, security and surprise. Because once a woman feels that life with you is both safe and adventurous, she won't just want to be near you. She will never want to let you go. At the heart of every woman lies a delicate balance of needs, some visible, some hidden, deep within. She longs to feel understood, because in a world that often talks over her, true understanding feels like oxygen. She craves emotional security, because without trust and steadiness, love cannot grow. She melts under subtle attention, because it tells her she is truly seen and valued. She's drawn irresistibly to genuine confidence, because it promises strength without arrogance. And finally, she yearns for emotional adventure, because love that excites her soul is love she never forgets. When a man learns to honor these 5 weak points, he doesn't just win a woman's attraction, he wins her heart, her trust, and her loyalty. He becomes more than a partner. He becomes the rare person who awakens her deepest emotions. And once she feels that, she will fight to keep him in her life, because losing him would feel like losing a part of herself. But very few men ever master this. Most men chase superficial attraction, forgetting that true connection lies in emotions, not appearances. If you can be the man who listens deeply, provides emotional stability, offers thoughtful attention, radiates genuine confidence and sparks adventure, you won't just stand out. You'll become unforgettable. So ask yourself, are you ready to step into that role? Are you ready to go beyond surface-level attraction and touch the very soul of a woman? Because once you do, love will no longer be a game. It will be a bond that transforms both of your lives. If this video opened your eyes, drop a comment below and share which point you believe is the most powerful in winning a woman's heart. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss more powerful insights on love, psychology and attraction. Remember, understanding her heart is the first step to truly winning it.